Welcome and hello. Oh, damn it, I did that again.
I'm sorry, it was my fault.
Welcome to the zoominghooskpodcast, and I'm your host, Dustin DaHusky.
And I'm Kurdan Sourpuss.
Hello.
Hi. How was your day?
It was okay. Can't really say a whole lot much about it.
Yeah,
Despite-
mine was crazy,
Despite stupid boss, but that's nothing new.
of course. So I had a thing that happened today. Actually was stuck flying solo loafing poos.
Aw.
My supervisor didn't show up. My coworker didn't show up. Actually, one coworker he did show up, but he never checked on me. He was like hiding in the meat department all day.
Hiding in the rafters.
He loves meat.
I like meat too.
So do I, but that's not all of our job. We do produce, we do bakery, we do meats. But,
And fur meats.
Yes, and fur meat.
That would be awful.
But yeah, it's funny too. Like the meat department manager actually saw me and was like, "Hey, you're here," and I was like, "Yeah, I'm here." And he said, "Yeah, the other guy that works with you thought that you left the team," and I was like, "No, I didn't leave the team." He actually caught me moving a pallet. Like, you know, when you walk around Walmart and they've got those different, like, here's a thing with all these Oreo cookies on it and
Yeah.
marshmallows on it. Somebody had, like, plopped one back in front of dairy, in front of the milk, which is, like, a huge, like, kind of a hub, like, high traffic area for all of the employees. Ah, he's going after the Melba toast. And so, yeah, I'm like, fuck this. I'm moving this thing. I dragged it all the way to the front of the store, all the way up by the registers, and dropped it off there. And yes, but he thought I had quit or something. He thought I had left the team.
Left a team as in your specific team or just Walmart?
No, as in just my specific team.
Oh.
This is funny to me because
Which means, if he said that, that means people have done that on their own volition.
oh yeah, actually while I'm there, we've had somebody leave the team.
Hell, I wish I had that much autonomy at my job.
Well, we kind of do. You have to kind of get it approved first before you just up and do it, which is what he thought I did. But
If everyone from my department, from warehouse, receiving, shipping, if anyone was given a chance to, like, go into another subdepartment in the back building, everyone would be doing it immediately, which is why none of the requests by anyone have been accepted to go into
yeah,
Marvac or subassembly, our other division, in-house. Oddly enough, its own division within a company. It's weird, but yeah. And I never even bothered putting in a request anyway because I know my boss would get pissed off to no end. Which
he probably would end up with nobody underneath him.
Yeah.
If you guys all had the ability to just
transfer to a different.
Transfer.
Oh my god!
he would just be him.
And I'd get more money that way. That's the thing.
Oh,
Is
do it. Put in a request.
It'd piss him off even more.
Who cares?
He already hates. Well, he already hates us anyway. But I'm at like the 10th level of hate. I don't want to go past 10. And I know it's gonna happen anyway. And they are thinking about expanding Marvac in the next 5 years, which I don't plan on being at this company that long anyway. Probably 2 years, 3 at the max, but with pandemic going on, I'm probably committed to stay here for another 2 years. Because I'm going to be very honest, any job I look for now, a company's going to be looking for the people they laid off anyway.
Yeah.
So I have no chance looking for a company in another job sector that I would rather do. They're going to give it back to the very people that they laid off, because let's be real, when you work in certain industries, it's easier just to hire back the old people than it is to train new people at a lower wage.
Not in the eyes of Walmart.
Well,
Or Target.
Walmart or Target, they're disposable, and they just say, okay, don't worry, we'll have 20 next week. And then 20 week after that, because the 20 that joined a month ago will quit.
Oh,
It all works as clockwork that way.
How did you know that we hire 20 people a week?
I'm just guessing.
That's about right. There's
Really?
usually 5 to 6 people each orientation. Wednesday and Saturday.
You know what would be an interesting fantasy job?
I'd say probably less than half of those people don't show up for the job after the orientation. Or after their very first shift. Sorry, go ahead.
You know what would be a very fascinating fantasy job?
What?
Just absolute fantasy, and you get paid for it. As if you get paid to guess on stuff that is actually true.
Oh, yeah.
But then again, that's kind of what magicians are. If you go to State Fair, they say, I am going to guess your weight.
Oh, yeah, guess your weight. It's huge.
Except you get paid big bucks for it. I would like to tell people, next week you're going to wear a corset. It's going to be pink.
But don't you have to, like, stand on something when they guess your weight?
I guess.
I've never actually done that, but I feel like you're actually standing at a scale.
But I think it'd be really, really fun to be a professional guesser. Hey, you know what's going to happen to your company? It's going to do good. And then I don't get paid because it was the other way around. Like, oh, you know that one company, Stanek Tool and Die? Yeah, they fell through like 2 weeks ago. And you told them that they're going to see record sales like they've never seen before.
Yeah. Or, hey, I guess that within the next week or two, someone's going to run into your Walmart and take a sledgehammer and smash out a piece of glass in a bunker.
Oh no, and it already happened.
And it already happened. Actually showed you that picture, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So apparently someone got really pissed and, those display freezers that are separate from the rest of the, wall. I guess they just call them bunkers. And they have glass on the side.
I hope you don't find Hitler in it.
Oh, God.
Maybe that's why they were trying to attack it.
Or Trump.
Or it could be Trump. Oops.
All right. But yeah, somebody smashed the hell out of it. Completely shattered it. You said it was, what kind of glass?
I think it's laminate glass, because safety glass turns into little tiny pebbles.
And actually, safety glass, does it break apart? Or
it actually becomes little tiny pebbles that come apart.
So, what exactly is not safety glass?
Laminate glass?
Laminate glass.
So what laminate glass is 2 pieces of composite that straddle a glass core. As far as I know, and it's sad because I went to school for mechanical engineering with an emphasis for automotive background or technology, so yes. I feel bad that I don't know as quite, although I do know what laminate glass is and what it's supposed to do. Technically, laminate glass is meant to stay together in one piece, whereas safety glass is supposed to shatter into millions of little tiny pebbles that won't hurt you. That's why it's called safety glass. It doesn't shard. Whereas laminate glass is supposed to stay in one piece, and it's the plastic backings on both sides of this glass middle is what keeps the whole structure together once shattered. It's also meant to provide a ton of rigidity for glass, and glass has some flex to it. It's meant to, because
It has to, yeah.
if glass was as dense or stiff as people expect it to be, the moment a wind, a little breeze, acts upon a pane of glass, it will shatter because there's not enough give.
Mm-hmm.
So, Xander mentions that he's a glass bender because he shattered his bathroom shower door.
Yeah.
And he thought that he can bend the glass into place and shattered into his hands into a million pieces.
Was he literally trying to bend it?
Well, you can bend glass and it will also shatter if you bend it too much. There is a good amount of give to glass.
Thank God.
What?
I'm just like imagining all the people that like run into those like
Walmart or Target sliding doors.
Where the door isn't the sliding part. It's just like a glass wall. And they just like, whoa, like ram right into it.
And the people that do are Neanderthals. Like for some reason, good old Cindy Smith walks directly into a pane of non-moving glass.
Karen Smith.
Karen Smith? Okay, let's go with Karen Smith. And, oh, pardon me. And then the glass vibrates a bit. And then here is Ugg, the Neanderthal, smashes directly through it without a problem.
Mm-hmm.
The same pane of glass.
Yeah.
And that's meant to take bird hits. It's meant to take shopping trolleys or carts.
Cars?
Well, obviously not cars, because that will obviously shatter. People are amazing.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like,
I just want to watch videos now of just people walking into glass.
Panes of glass, and see which one has a thick enough skull to do it. Hence Neanderthal. Because your forward brow is going to be the point to your arrow. So, I had a bad idea about weaponizing Neanderthals. Like, we're going to use them with trebuchets. Instead of giant spears, a Roman legion tells a centurion, well, we totally ran out of spears, but we found a group of people called the Neanderthals. Apparently their heads are incredibly thick. That can be taken wrong in the wrong context. Their heads are incredibly thick and pointy. That's also just as bad.
It's pointy.
They're not very aerodynamic, but they can penetrate armor.
They look like penises.
At this point, we may as well call them...
Nope, they're just penis heads.
Penanderastral or something.
Yeah, Neanderthals.
Penanderals.
I'm thankfully I am a peanut. What is it?
You just said it. Damn it! Penanderthal.
Penanderal.
Penanderal.
Penanderals.
At this point, we're all Penanderals.
Okay, well, this podcast is going to be hashtag Penanderal.
It's already 14 minutes in, and we're talking about penis. But that hasn't happened in prior episodes until the 5th one. We're doing good. But yeah, weaponizing Neanderthals. And using them as spears across the battlefield.
Oh, God.
Being embedded into walls, stone walls.
Completely horizontal.
Completely horizontal. And you know what? They're fine.
The most god-awful images are going through my head right now.
Zooming at 1,000,000 miles an hour across the battlefield. Into a brick wall. And the men on the other side are, whoa. They were throwing boulders at first. Now they're throwing people. Now they're armored penetrating Neanderthal ammunition has advanced.
Yes. By the way, special shout out to our special guest for this episode, Tom Cruise.
And Tommy Wiseau.
And Tommy Wiseau.
Why? Because we thought it was a good idea to include the Toms.
Include the Toms. Hashtag Toms.
Yeah, that turned out to be one of our tags for an episode.
Yeah, I hope that works.
I hope so too, where a world can exist where Tom Cruise and Tommy Wiseau can share tag spot in an episode description.
I hope they collab someday. I'd like to see both the Toms in like a movie together.
That'd be incredible.
How amazing would that be?
What movie would they star in, though?
Hmm.
It had to be The Room quality bad, but with a Tom Cruise edge.
Top Room.
Top Room! So it's a flying room. Please don't choke on a grape. Especially the one that looks like it's like an orgy.
I ate it already.
You ate the orgy grape.
I ate the orgy grape.
Oh.
Sorry. I took many pictures of it though.
Okay, good, because that was 3 grapes into one.
I think it was more than 3. I couldn't even count. It was just too many. They all had sex. It all comes down to sex.
It
really.
all comes down to sex. So in Top Room,
Yeah.
what is going on in Top Room?
Oh God, who knows?
So you've got Tom Cruise in a what?
I can just imagine Tommy Wiseau at one point in the movie is going to be like,
I'm fed up with this world.
I'm fed up with these worlds. You're tearing us apart. The Toms.
The Toms. Oh, hey Tom.
Oh, hi, Tom.
I
Oh,
can
hi,
just
Tom.
imagine him flying a apartment building into like some war-torn country and absolutely doing ultimate damage. Hey, there's this building where it's holding a ton of chemical weapons. You must blow it out. Oh, that sounds really nice. How's your sex life? And this general just stares at him like, I haven't had a sex since the war. It was a French lady. It was 50 years ago. What do you use as an engine for your flying apartment complex? Oh, you know that's confidential.
Yeah.
Here, let us talk. Oh, let us. You know how in the room they toss a football around?
Yes, they do.
How about a napalm canister?
Okay.
Oh my god.
I mean, they tossed that football like 2 feet away from each other to stay in frame.
I want to see Tom Cruise and Tommy Wiseau toss a napalm canister together.
It'd be like hot potato.
It'd be total hot potato.
Hot napalm.
Hot napalm potato. You don't want to eat that.
No. No.
It's like the best Mexican food there is. It'll burn you from the inside out, but you might enjoy it. Or maybe not. I don't know. Napalm, it sticks to anything.
Does it?
Yeah.
I've never even like researched napalm.
Apparently napalm is like a jelly-like substance where whatever it touches, it just burns. Regardless of what you do, it burns. That's a very, very interesting subject we've come up. But then again, it's like, hey, let's go lob the napalm. And then you have Tom Cruise nervously chucking a canister of doom. Oh no, there goes Goose.
Yeah, they would bring back Goose for that. They'd have to.
They would have to.
Yeah, could be like a prequel to Top Gun and The Room.
Or why not just multiple Goose? So let's just say geese, and they have clones of him.
Is that the plural of geese or is it gooses?
Geese. But then again, there's moose and mooses. So it's supposed to be meese.
I can never.
The English language sucks.
English language does suck. You know, funny thing too, talking about movies, I actually am reminded of something that happened when I was working at Blockbuster. I got a phone call because I was the manager.
Oh.
I know you know where this is going to. And nobody else answered the phone at my store, apparently. It was just me. So, thank you for calling Blockbuster in Naperville. This is Joe. How can I help you? Who was your daddy and what does he do? And I'm like, oh God, it's Arnold. We were going through all the Arnold prank phone calls. And yeah, they tried pranking me and I couldn't go along with it because I instantly knew I was way too familiar with
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Arnold Schwarzenegger and his body of work.
And his body
And
of muscle.
And his body in general.
Yeah.
Every inch of it.
Do you have a map?
Yes.
That's impressive.
No.
Do you have a map? Do you have a map of his cleftal horizon?
Yes.
Ooh, that's a very popular map.
His map led right down into his posing trunks.
Ooh. I'm jealous.
Yep.
Now, speaking of pranks,
Mm-hmm.
did you ever prank anyone growing up?
Yes.
I have a few times.
There was this house on the other side of our block. So like you would have been like over on the other side of the little river.
Is it the crazy voodoo lady?
No.
Oh, damn it.
Nope. Sorry, she's at the other. She's closer to the college. But me and my friend John Haw had a little smoke bomb, like fireworks, little smoke bomb thing that you light, and it's just smoke. Nothing too crazy. It's not really a fire hazard by any means, but in the right circumstance, could look like there's a fire, especially if you light it, place it right outside of a window, so whoever's in the house
Shit's a brick.
can see and smell smoke.
Oh, God.
And it doesn't go out right away. It goes. It burns for a while. So we do this. And then, like, we didn't think this through at all. We're stupid 10-year-old, 9-year-old kids. We hide in the fucking street. Like, our street had a curb.
Mm-hmm.
And we, like, hide in the street. Like, duck down behind the curb so they can't see us.
Must have been a pretty big curb.
It was very tall. It was well over, like
It was a loaf-sized curb.
a foot, maybe a foot and a couple inches high. It was a high curb. You don't want to swerve into that with your tires. It'll pop it.
Yeah, Illinois curbs are
And-
terrifying.
Dent the shit out of your rims and everything else.
Chicago curbs are even more terrifying. They're like almost 10 inches at
Yep.
best.
So we hide in the street. You know, we're just thinking hide from the house. You know, not to consider the fact that the entire rest of the neighborhood can see us. All the houses across the street. And this lady across the street, I happen to take notice, is taking pictures of us. And I'm like, hey, Paul, they're taking pictures of us. And John's like, what? And next thing you know, we're posing for these pictures like idiot kids. We're making like faces and posing and whatever. And then she starts walking towards us.
They're your wanted posters.
Yeah. And we're like making silly faces. And fucking John takes off, leaves me there, and I'm like frozen in fear, but almost intrigued to see what she has to say for herself after taking multiple pictures of us.
You were
Handsome young lads.
You were firm loafing.
I was. Firm loafing in fear.
Aw.
She proceeds to tell me that this is a Zoom lens. She saw what we did and she's going to go to the police with it.
Is this a film camera?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Did she even know who you were?
No. Which is why, like, a week later, some lady shows up with flyers with our faces printed up on
No
them.
way.
My mom saw that and she was like, nope, never saw him. Don't know who it is.
Okay, your mom's awesome.
Thank
I mean,
God.
she's always awesome, but that's icing on the cake right
Yeah,
there.
my mom ran interference for me. She saved me from going to jail at 9 years old. I wouldn't have gone to jail.
No, juvie,
Juvie.
loaf. You would have gone to loaf prison
Yep.
with all the other delinquent loafs, and y'all hiss at each other.
Oh, yeah. That's all the strays. Everybody gets in a fight.
So then they see on a wanted poster this really firm, edgy loaf in a curb doing a face.
Posing. Like
Posing.
we were like flexing. We were like,
That's even better. That's even better.
we were like flexing. Like I
You're-
thought I was Arnold.
You were flexing like a bodybuilder as a wanted poster. Your neighborhood wanted poster. It's not like everyone's like, oh, here's this look of a terrified kid's face. Have you seen this kid? No. Yours is, aha, look at me. I am wrestling a bear while lifting a bus.
Fight me.
And you weren't. Many people are afraid of taking a mugshot. You were proud loafing. You were
didn't.
like, I'm going to make this work.
Definitely did not look bothered at all.
You don't look like a criminal at all. You just thought, oh, here, I'm I'm getting a photo taken of me.
I actually forgot, but we were flexing. We were like, "Rah, rah."
In plain view.
Yeah, in plain view for this lady.
Did you ever... So did she ever find out who you ever were?
No, thank
Does
God.
she still live there?
Yes, I think she does.
You should, like...
No, I should not.
We should take a visit to Aurora.
No, we should not.
I have so many personal days. I could take a personal day. We can go down there and say, have you seen this loaf? He's right here now. And then we run. We zoom back to Wisconsin.
Yeah, right.
I think I have only pranked a few times. And the only time where I was brave enough to do a phone call, everyone knows the song.
Yes.
I called the number, and I somehow got a store, because if you just don't do the, let's say the area zip code, it'll do the local area zip code. So 8675309.
Yeah.
If you put a zip code in front of it, then it'll go to whatever number that zip code is in. Because it's hard enough to believe that my phone number is only being used only for me, at least as far as non-zip code number. Like, I'm from the 262 area of Wisconsin, and the rest of my number is my number, right? Mm-hmm. I have a hard time believing I'm the only one with that number, besides having 3 digits in front of it to differentiate with an area code.
Right.
So I had a confused business owner on the other line who was asking me, hello, this is, I don't forget the business name. They were a electronics repair company in Milwaukee.
Okay.
Because in Milwaukee area, especially even near me, it'll automatically do 414 instead of 262. And I grew up in 414 anyway. So 414 represent. And I dialed that on the home phone, but this is a time when I guess tape recorder answering machine still existed at this point.
Yep.
But it was not enough where caller ID existed. And I had gotten a confused older gentleman, which from gauging from his voice, seemed like he was covered in body hair or in just a lot of facial hair. Because the way how he sounded, like, he sounds like a lumberjack, but he's a TV tube repairman because this is a time when TV tubes are still very much the norm.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I got a very confused gentleman on the line.
What did you say?
Is Jenny there?
And what did he say?
Hold on, I'll get her.
Well, that fell through.
That totally fell through, and it was.
Shit, there's a Jenny. Quick, what do I do?
And I think it was some other coworker, a woman at the place, talked to me and say, "Hello, this is Jenny." So they were totally in on this as well.
So what did you do?
Oh, I hung up. I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Did you run and hide after that?
In the house, I don't.
How old were you?
I was probably at least
20.
Oh, no. I was at least 8 or 9.
Oh, okay.
A long time ago. Yeah, that's like the only time I ever prank called someone on the phone.
That's funny.
It's like you would talk to someone on the phone and say, "Hey, is your refrigerator running?"
Yeah.
Yes, well, you better go run after it.
Catch it.
Or catch it. I've never done anything like that. All I knew was the song, and I thought, well, it would be really funny to know what would happen on the other line. But as a dumb kid, I didn't think, well, the phone number is 8675309. You could put a zip code in front of that. You can get 2 different people.
Right.
262 and 414. Most states tend to ignore that entire number altogether. However, in most states and in most area codes, you can use that number as your own. However, most people that tend to do it either for business or personal eventually retire that number.
Probably because they get sick of the phone calls.
Yep.
No, she's not here. Stop calling. It's funny when you mention that. I just, going back to what happened to me, if we did show up, imagine like if she said, I've spent my entire life trying to track him down.
Oh my God.
Do you imagine if she this whole time she's been looking for me?
Imagine right now she's parked across the street, looking out her car window.
With a camera.
I got you, asshole.
It's only a matter of time before you show up flexing again.
And then, of course...
I should show up to her house and be like, "Hi, do you remember me?" She'll be like, "No." "How about now?"
Oh, it's you! And you have actual muscles. Imagine if she were to take a picture of you right now doing anything, and then all of a sudden, at that very moment, you strike a you strike a pose, like, I should really work out. You know what? Maybe I should go to a gym. You start flexing, and then she takes a picture, and then soon enough, we have wanted posters around the neighborhood. Like, oh, come on! This was 30 years ago.
Move on.
Most cases, I tend to TP. I was a good Hoosk.
Yeah.
However, there was some times when I did stuff, and usually it was either egging or TP. I did nothing more. However, like throwing a frisbee, unless it's disc golf, and somehow I'm quite accurate to a good portion of my throws, but when it's an ordinary frisbee, I can't aim for shit. I find that odd, but I can't aim for shit. Anytime I threw an egg, it would land nowhere near where I wanted it to hit.
Oh, God. I'm not a great thrower either.
And it's the same with toilet paper. Often enough, I throw it directly into their yard instead of a tree. So now you have a very well, not used roll of toilet paper, but a whole roll of toilet paper on a lawn. We're not picking that one up. We're just going to leave it right there because that's evidence.
Yep.
We got to disappear.
Although, I can actually throw, we have like a huge, kind of like cage thing that all the plastic we bag
Mm-hmm.
that we collect over time. After like a week of collecting, we put it into the baler and we make a plastic bale out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But when it starts to get full, you have to really heave it. And it's probably a good, I don't know, 20, 25 feet high. And I can make it up there. I can actually get it stuck where it actually, because there's like poles where it's not really supposed to be like on it. It's just there to hold them in place, like a big, like, the ball thing where they keep all the balls in. And I'll actually get it caught on the steel rod. It'll just be like hanging there. It's pretty funny.
Is it called a scrotum?
Yes.
Oh.
I just thought of another prank that we did in high school.
Okay.
Because that was me.
A high school prank. Your senior year prank?
No, not mine. I was probably a sophomore, junior. We had a beloved chorus teacher that we wanted to pull a prank on. And one of the girls that we were with decided it was a good idea to steal horses. You know those traffic horses that have the blinky light on them?
Yeah.
It's got like 4 legs and it's like orange and yellow. And they put it up where there's construction in the roads and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Potholes, I think of specifically. They had probably, I don't know, 25, 30 of them all stuck in one spot.
Oh, no.
Because they were between like work days. And so they had them all stored, all just piled up together. So we pulled up in her minivan and started loading them up in the back of the minivan.
Mm-hmm.
And these things are fucking heavy. I'd say each horse is probably 40 pounds, 40, 45 pounds each. They're not light. We get them, almost all of them into the back of her minivan. Actually, it might have been a full-size van, really. It was probably a full-size van. And a policeman pulls up. Because
wow.
all the lights are flashing, and all you see is these orange lights flashing inside this van. And they're like, what do you got going on here, kids? We were going to put these in our chorus teacher's front yard for, like,
a prank?
a night. And then put them back. He's like, you better put them back. Okay.
And they drove off?
I took one. I came back I took one and I put it in my basement. It stayed in my basement for 7 years. Flashing. I finally got rid of it at age 30. I was like 30, 35. And I was like, I probably should get rid of this.
That's funny.
I think I ended up getting rid of it in the yard sale. Somebody bought it.
What the fuck? That's city property. And said, how'd you get this? Oh, I worked in construction. They left this in my yard, so I kept it. Oh, okay, that sounds good enough.
City of Aurora represent.
Yeah. No, this wasn't taken off of Randall Road. Hey, who's been through Randall?
Yeah, I was a bad poos. I was very naughty.
I was a very boring Hoosk beyond the prank phone call and the horrendous throwing of the eggs and toilet paper. After that, I got all pranking out of my system growing up.
That's a lie. That's a lie, and you know it.
I've probably done something...
Whose ball did you cut? You told that story at one of the...
Oh, yeah, fucking that guy.
Yeah.
Should I tell that story?
Maybe like an abridged version of it.
Okay, so...
Go for it. We got time.
No, we got nothing but time. So, in high school, I drove a purple-colored 96 Cavalier for my first car. I love the car, and I also hated it. Well, one of my mutuals of one of my friends, or no, he's not really a mutual. It was more like of my friends, we had mutuals. And one of these mutuals is, I'm not even actually going to say his name because I fear that a local knows who the hell I'm going to talk about. Because there's actually one local who did go to school with me, so I'm probably not going to even say names.
No.
I'm on to you, I know. And he drove a pickup truck. And he was one of those bros where he would,
Bro.
he would back up into a parking spot in the same spot for 2 years. Would never change because it was considered the truck lot.
And we're talking high school, right?
Yep.
Okay.
High school. And one day I found Dick's key scratched into my car's paint.
When you say dick, you mean like a penis.
Oh yeah, penises, yeah. And the word penis. So really both the word and the imagery.
Wow. They really
liked me.
They really like penises too.
Oh, this guy talked nothing about penises in high school, and he always told me that I was gay.
He's the one talking about penises.
And what's funny about this guy who told me that I'm gay, although later in life I turned out to be bi, so haha, that's pretty funny. Well, he has a giant custom-made scrotum for his truck. Everyone's familiar with truck nuts, right?
Yep.
The most disgusting thing ever put on a motor vehicle. I've seen them on motorcycles and it's stupid. But he used giant ball bearings, and the reason why I know this is that I got so fed up with him one day, key scratching the shit out of my car. I knew where he lived. He didn't know. I just found out. Not through Yellow Pages. Or is it White Pages or Yellow Pages?
Probably White Pages. Yellow Pages is business.
I got the two confused.
Okay.
It's been a while.
White Pages.
So pretty much the White Pages. And he cut in front of me while heading to our school's intersection. So we're technically in New Berlin. I went to New Berlin West. And he cut in front of me, and there it was, swinging this giant sack made out of leather. Leather. Custom-made truck nuts.
Wow.
And they look like cannonballs on the inside, so these things were just sagging balls. I got so fed up with him, I decided I want to do something about it. So, I waited one random night. It was definitely a Monday, because it was during the weekend, and I just got so fed up with dealing with him, because he was kind of a bully. I turned out I kind of punched him in lunch while the principal was watching. Like, he was standing behind me as I punched this guy. And he ended up giving me a thumbs up, and he walked away, and he never reported me. Me and the principal Paws, not P-O, no, not P-A-W-S, P-U, no, P-A-U-S-E. He knew that I was going through some issues with bullying, and because I stood up for myself, he's like, you know what? I'm proud for punching someone in the face.
That's a good principle.
That is a good principle. He never reported me, and he walked away. Well, I got so fed up with his shit, this kid, that I decided to do the unthinkable. I was going to cut his truck nuts off his truck.
Where were they hanging?
Off of his trailer receiver hitch.
Okay, the little knob that sticks out.
Yeah.
That you could probably
Which looks like a squared off vagina for a truck. So when you really think about it, when you see a big lifted pickup truck that's got truck nuts and has a receiver hitch, it's technically called a hermaphrodite. Remember that.
I think of those things as like butt plugs.
Oh, damn. Butt plugs for a truck. There we go. The evolution of trucks, ladies and gentlemen. So, on Sunday night, because it was definitely Sunday night because he would not find out for a week, I drove my Cavalier kind of gangster style, like not gangster but mob style, where I drove up his block. He lived on a cul-de-sac, so I drove past his house with my lights on, thinking I'm just an ordinary, neighbor in their part of town. I went in the cul-de-sac, turned around, turned my lights off, turned the car off, and I put it in neutral, and I coasted downhill. So that no one would hear that I was coming. Then I got out of my car, I grabbed my trusty pair of Fisker scissors, and there I was, staring at a pair of truck nads. And this is the very first time I've ever grabbed a set of balls.
Hanging from a butt plug.
Yes, it was glorious. Little did I know that I would be touching balls later in life, but I grabbed these things, which are hefty. Furries love hefty balls.
Yeah. Thick boys.
Thick boys. And I decided to do something that even my own balls said, no, don't do it. I took the scissors, I took it on one open end, and I stabbed the fucker, and I sawed it off. They dropped like a sack of bricks, because these are giant ball bearings, which I don't know where the hell he found ball bearings like 4 or 5 inches thick. Like industrial-sized ball bearings. Ended up taking him in my car, drove to school in the middle of the night, dropped the sack and balls right where his truck would overhang on the lawn, because it was a long bed truck. So there was some overhang when he backed into his lot. He always had his truck facing out of a parking lot. And I knew that suddenly his balls have dropped. Well, his mom is also the secretary of the school.
Whoops.
And a whole week would go by, and on Friday during lunch, I was confronted by this asshole and said, "You cut the nuts off my truck," and I played stupid. You have truck nuts. That's kind of lame. Why would you need trucks on a nut anyway? Nuts on a truck. And he pulled me, he literally dragged me to the front office, went to his mom who had the parking lot pass, which if you needed to go to your car for anything, or for any reason, you would assign your name, put the time and date of when you took a parking lot pass during lunch hour. You were only allowed to do it during lunch hour. And she kept an entire record of that school year. And this guy thought that sometime during the week that I went out to cut the nuts off his truck. I cut his truck nuts at his home, not during school, not during a lunch period.
Mm-hmm.
So I had that totally covered, which unintentionally wasn't even thinking about that. It just happened.
Yep.
And then he realized my name was never on the parking lot pass for that whole week. Neither the week before or the week before.
Wow.
Then, in a genuineness, he was apologizing me for framing me. Well, to this day, he still has no idea who cut the nuts off his truck. But I actually made him for once totally confused as to someone cut the nuts off his truck, but now he had no idea who actually did it, because I was the very first person he thought I would do it, which, good on him, because I did. But I went not a step further. I just did it during the weekend. I thought, I'm just going to, or at night anyway.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it in the middle of the day. That was stupid, but I didn't think about that part. And he thought that he caught me as to, oh, well, you took a pass during the week, which he framed me for that too. He never found my name on that list. So he was totally baffled by it, and he never questioned it since.
That's funny.
Yep. So, yeah, truck nuts. Don't put them on a truck.
They don't belong on trucks.
Put them on a smart. Let them drag. For high school pranks, we had the football team. Someone in the parking lot owned a smart car. What they would do is they would park the smart car with 4 or 6 beefy guys from the football team. They'd lift the car up and put the car back in the same spot, but point it in the other direction. And they would do this weeks on end.
I remember hearing about stuff like that.
Where they would lift the car, pull it out, turn it around, and put it back in the same spot, but facing the other way. And this person didn't even notice.
Of course not. What a worthless prank.
Eventually, they did find out because they realized, well, I always pull into a spot, never back in.
Yeah, me too.
So they started really, really turning gears in their minds. Okay, something's off. And that's kind of when we told the person, yeah, we've been flipping your car the other way for a while. There was my high school prank, my senior year. I was never given the memo. However, I don't think I would have done it anyway. Our high school prank of 2012 was drive your lawnmower to school day on public roads. And on my way to school, there were people on lawnmowers on the side of the road and on the road going to school. That's when I realized, oh, this must be our senior year prank. Riding a lawnmower, and there were cops giving people parking tickets because they took a lawnmower to school. Not the idea that they drove it on public roads, which is legal. They gave them a parking ticket because it's not registered. Because they didn't catch them on the road. So they had a field day with that.
I'm sure. That's funny.
The year before, they TP'd the school's front willow tree. Apparently they may have gone on the roof because they cover this whole tree up from the top to the bottom. And a willow tree is pretty big.
Yeah.
The only way you can access the upper half of the tree without throwing like Hercules or Arnold Schwarzenegger is you went up on the roof and threw toilet paper over the tree itself.
Yeah.
Because it was all over the place. That toilet paper lasted on that tree our entire senior year after their prank was over with. They got as much toilet paper out of the tree. There was still toilet paper in that tree. No matter what they can do, that toilet paper was still in that tree.
Yeah.
There was one disgusting prank, and it was during my senior year, and it was not a senior prank, but okay, never mind. There were two disgusting pranks that my fellow classmates have pulled off, and one of them I'm about to drop a slight bombshell on. Only one person would kind of know. So, in the gym locker rooms, actually this both happened in the locker rooms. There's a guy named Alex. He's on the football team. He has a lemonade pitcher in his gym locker. And his locker would smell not like ass, but like something else. Something that males do.
Piss?
No.
Oh.
Sperm.
Jack off.
Yeah, so he would jack off in that pitcher. I don't know how, I don't know when, but he finds the time to do it.
At work? I mean,
at school, in high school.
At school?
And he did this for an entire year. And, yeah, I'm a male that does self-maintenance things. And I know what it smells like when it goes rank.
Sour.
Yeah. He did this for an entire year, and I got a whiff of that, and I know what that is, and boy, that's nasty. I've never had it. I don't know why.
Did he love his own sperm and he wanted to save it? I mean, what?
Was it his own cologne? I don't know. But it totally smelled like sperm.
Was it closed, or did he just leave it open and just keep shooting?
So,
he just kept shooting into it?
So, the pitcher is in a locker. However, the locker doors have holes in them for ventilation.
Of course it does.
So, they would actually ventilate the whole locker room. Mr. Mr. Shield, our PE teacher,
Phys ed.
he gave zero shits about that. It's like, well, his office is not in the locker room itself; it's in another room. So at that point, it doesn't matter to him.
Right.
But the smell, it was awful.
I'm sure he knew.
I'm sure he knew too.
I'm sure he knew immediately. He's like, I know that smell.
I know that smell
That's
smells
dry
like.
cum. My whole house smells like it.
Oh God. I don't know, because you grew up in a different time period where Axe
Not
body
that
spray.
much different.
No. But
I'm familiar with Axe, but yes.
so what we did. Now I'll get to the next nasty thing that happened in that gym locker room that was disgusting. But another thing that we did for the 6 years at the school, because New Berlin West is both a middle and high school. What we all did, and even I did, was take an aerosol can of Axe body spray,
Okay.
take a strip of tape the dispense handle down to have it spray out fragrance, toss it in your gym locker, and have it run out. There was never a week in my 6 years of that school during gym has it never smelled like ass. Not actual ass, because I never smelled actual ass. Actually, our gym lockers were pretty clean. Smelled like Axe body spray continuously, because everyone had the bright idea, including me, just to get out of my system, just to do it once,
Sure.
to make an entire locker room smell like Axe body spray. Well, the worst thing that's happened at my school in that locker room was in the gym boys' bathroom. I don't know if it was a junior grade below us or if it was my senior year, and I think it may have been senior year or some sick fuck. Apparently, they had to call in the biohazard squad to come clean the mess up. Apparently, they were able to acquire as much human shit.
What?
Human shit to the quantities that I have never heard of before. So they may have been preparing this for weeks. They've covered every inch, every wall, and the ceiling in human shit in my high school boys' locker room bathroom. So much so that it ranks so bad, they called in a biohazard team to clean it up.
Oh, God. They'd have to.
They had to, because it was so bad.
That is a biohazard. That is disgusting.
It was disgusting. I never saw it, but apparently one person I knew did. And they were the ones walking in and realized, oh, something smells like, ah! And, yeah, brown. And the walls were originally white. Brown.
White brown.
Apparently they didn't get the sink. The sink was the only thing clean out of that whole bathroom, which is funny.
I haven't had a lot of experience with shit pranks. But when I did work at Blockbuster, we had somebody that, I guess they couldn't speak English or something. We had a bathroom that was public, but it was locked. You had to come to the front and ask for a key. Kind of like when you go to a gas station out west and they give you like a key that's like attached to like a
nunchuck.
A nunchuck or something big. Like an old
custom
fire hose,
truck nuts.
like a fire hose nozzle or something.
Oh, something that would be a pain in the ass to really steal, but
Yes.
something that you'd really have to give back.
And
'cause
it's
it is
like
a pain in the
chained to
ass.
it. It's like chained to it.
Right.
So they would have to like come up to the front and ask for the keys for the bathroom. We would go back and unlock it. It was a really busy night, and I don't think I ever recall even one time somebody asking to use the bathroom. But as I was getting closer to the end of the evening, and I could finally like see the condition of my store, I found boxes, DVD boxes, and VHS. We had videotapes back then.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of like pushed over to one side of the shelf, and I was like, "What the heck is this?" and I walk to the next movie title in the alphabet. Same thing. Same shelf height. Movies pushed over to the side. And I'm like, what the hell? So I go to separate the boxes, and there's like stuff between the boxes that's making them stick together. Brown.
Oh, no.
I'm like, oh God, what the hell happened here? Somebody took a kid's diaper or the shit out of a kid's diaper, smeared it all across my new release wall at Blockbuster
Wow.
because they could not figure out how to get into the fucking bathroom.
That's sad.
And I'm talking like, say the entire span of someone's house. That's how long my new release wall was.
Mm-hmm.
Just one side of it. They went across the whole side of it.
Wait, they were able to find that much baby shit to smear across an entire wall.
They must have kept shitting or something.
It almost was like lipstick.
It was
Oh,
like,
no.
it was
That's bad.
like that cat, remember the cat gun, that cat gun mod where the cat's like shooting.
Oh, yeah.
He like pets the cat and then the cat shoots more. Like pet the
the
kid
cat.
and he like poops more. Like a baby gun. A shit gun. A baby shit gun.
Oh, no.
Yes.
That's awful.
You reminded me of something else that we did.
Prank.
Not really so much as a prank. It's
But you
just
got pranked on.
kind of, yeah. I thought I was going to be clever and funny, and it backfired immensely on me.
That's how it usually happens when you try to be clever with someone. They find a way to turn it against you.
I was young and stupid. The only sport that I played like freshman year was cross country because I was too scared to join any other sports. Football, basketball, baseball. I probably should have now thinking back. I wouldn't have stood out so much. But cross country was fine.
Mm-hmm.
I made friends, and a lot of my sister's friends were on the cross country team. So I knew a lot of them already. So it was kind of a natural progression.
Right.
Cross country. These guys are cool. They like me. They know who I am. One of the guys, Edgar, had like an old green. Oh God! It had like a really thick back end. It was long.
His ass?
Car.
Oh, okay.
I can't think of the car. What was big cars back in the early 90s?
So you still had Caprices.
It was a four. It might have been a Caprice.
That's
It was
Chevy.
a four-door. It was a sedan. It was a Chevy because
Okay.
they loved Chevys.
Okay.
It may have been a Chevy Caprice.
Because those
I
things
know
are boats.
It was wide. I remember sitting in the back seat and there was lots of room for all of us.
You can have the entire state of Texas in this back
We
seat.
had like five guys or six guys in the back seat.
Holy Christ.
I mean, imagine we're all skinny little high school kids.
Okay.
But I think it might have been a Chevy Caprice. Because like we would like, if we were all sitting back there, we were like,
Oh, bouncing?
we would move up and down to like make the back of the car like.
Oh, I see
bounce.
where this is going.
Not really. No.
Oh, it's not that story?
No, not that story.
Oh, okay.
That's a different one. I can share that too, though. And that was after high school. But this was during high school, freshman year. So one of the things the guys would do after cross-country practice is they would stop Edgar from leaving. And Edgar was like the openly gay guy that everybody loved. And they loved teasing the shit out of him. He would try to drive off and they would like jump on the back trunk.
Mm-hmm.
And he'd have to stop again. And finally I was like, that looks like fun because they'll like drive for like a few feet and then they'll stop. Fun. Fun, they said. Jump on Edgar's back trunk, they said.
That sounds very gay, though.
Well, yes, a little bit. But I didn't know what I was back then. Anyway, so I thought, I can do that. So I jumped on. Edgar took off. I don't know if he knew that I was on there. I'm almost positive he knew I was on there.
He was
Because
he was getting pretty
laughing.
fed up.
When he stopped, he was laughing his ass off. Probably went 45, 50 miles an hour.
Oh, fuck.
And I was clinging to the back of this, trying to stay on.
You were putting your claws into his...
My feet were like hanging, barely touching the ground. And I was like banging on the back window. Edgar, stop! Backfired. Backfired immensely. Immensely. The other prank that you reminded me of, you asked me about. Oh, when I was a young... in my
You were
early,
young sourpuss.
not so young as before. That was high school. This was like college. My friend Jeff would drive us down to the clubs in Chicago
Oh, okay.
and sneak us in the clubs. He had another old car, probably another Chevy Caprice, as far as I know.
Was it boxier or was it...
It was boxy, but it was like he had like bad suspension. So if too much weight was in the back,
it would sag.
It would sag. It would scrape.
Oh, God.
Like if we would go over like an intersection,
It would bottom out.
It would bottom out.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And he was like super paranoid about it. Me and this other Joe would both sit in the back seat on purpose and like force the car to bottom out. And like, yeah.
Didn't you say you would time it with known ruts in the road
Yes.
that you guys knew and say,
Like
hey,
if
hey,
you go over like a really, like for some reason, some of the intersections were so high up.
yeah.
And when you came past the cross street, it would dip back down.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when we would come up and come down, and then I'm sure sparks were coming out of the backside of that car. And he got so mad at us, but it was a fun time. I was a naughty kitty.
Ah.
I was very naughty.
You were punk loafing.
Yes. What do you think?
Well, there's one more story. It's kind of a shit story
Oh
because
no,
it is
more
involving
shits.
more shits.
Oh god,
As well.
This is a really
Shitty episode, yeah. So I guess if we're talking about humanification,
Hashtag shit.
hashtag shit. I used to work for a school district as a janitor. I was custodial. You can say janitor all you like. Among all the other janitors, they didn't like that. They say, no, we're custodians. Like, oh, okay. Or building maintenance, even better. Still the same thing. And I was given a call about a mess in one of the kindergarten bathrooms. And I say, okay, all right, well, come over and check it out. And the teacher says, yeah, someone made a mess in the bathroom. Like, oh, okay, well, you know what? It's no big deal. That does happen. We all knew someone or yourself who made an accident in kindergarten. It's not the end of the world.
Yep.
Till I opened the door. It was on the ceiling.
Oh my god.
I don't know how. It was like projectile cannon feces.
Somebody threw it up there.
No, the kid had an accident.
He had to have thrown it up.
No, it wasn't that. So apparently what happened was...
Oh, I know what you're going with this.
So, kindergarten's a small kid, right?
Yes.
Well, for some goddamn reason, the kindergarten bathrooms have adult toilets at adult heights.
Of course they do.
So apparently what the kid did was he lost his balance on the toilet seat, fell over, just at the same time that he was about to go, it projectiled onto the ceiling. Didn't get any of the walls, didn't get on the floor. Toilet's perfectly clean. This kid somehow managed to coat the entire ceiling.
Coat?
Yes!
No.
Yes!
Oh.
I used gravity to help clean this job.
Ugh.
I was actually somewhat impressed, thinking, Dear Lord, why is it only on the ceiling?
Only on the ceiling.
Why is it only on the ceiling? And then I had to ask Tom. Now, here's another Tom. I forgot his last name, but Tom, and Tommy. So now there they are, looking at a bathroom. And I asked him, have you ever seen anything like this? Like, oh yeah, loads of times. Like, no way. But it was the most obviously the most disgusting thing ever. But I couldn't believe that it was on the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
After that, I had to scrub myself so much just because of the...
God,
just,
yeah.
No. I felt bad for the poor kid because... Yeah, it's not something good to remember.
No.
When you're that young, you make an accident, then people make fun of you for it. But holy cow, that's impressive in some ways.
Yeah.
And it only it stuck to the ceiling. I don't know. It's the one thing that I remember from this one district that, oh yeah, I've cleaned up bloody noses. I've cleaned up puke because kids get sick and whatnot, and so you got to go clean it up. And urine and whatnot because, well, sometimes accidents do happen.
And sometimes they just miss the urinal.
Right. This is the only time I had to deal with feces at a school, and I've done janitor work for about 4 years during college.
Can you imagine that kid now? He's probably like into shit.
Oh God.
That's how your fetishes start.
That's how fetishes start.
At a young age.
Oh God. That's a terrifying thought.
He might be
a world record holder for the longest distance shit ever.
He could be performing.
And he's got like a trophy with like a gold nugget. I don't know.
Probably he's probably performing with Tommy Bartlett in the Dells. Like, watch the rocket shitter.
Oh my God! He's in a jet ski and he projects himself 20 feet in the air.
Rocket shit skiing.
Rocket shit skiing. You've heard of SpaceX. Well, how about shit X?
This is not scripted, by the way. This is all off the cuff, people.
Yeah.
All off the cuff.
Tommy Bartlett and the shit show. Why is this river so brown? It's as brown as Wasaki River.
Oh my God. All right, so I got a few hashtags for you.
Shit show.
Penandaryl. Penandaryl. Hashtag shit.
Hashtag shit.
Hashtag shitcast. Hashtag Tom. Hashtag the Toms.
The Toms.
Hashtag Tomcast.
Tomcast.
And hashtag shit show.
Alright, so obviously we know this is a very, very disgusting show. You know what? I think I can find a way to top this off.
We can't even apologize for this.
I'm sorry, people.
Don't apologize. There's no...
Okay, I am going to undo that. So, for those who are old enough to drink, you definitely have one of those moments in life where you realize you drank too much. What am I doing with myself? Why did I get myself into this mess? And oh God, I'm about to go. So, I don't know how old I was or even when. All I remember was I got so drunk one night that I woke up and I didn't feel good. Of course, you're hungover and whatnot, but you don't feel good. Then I walk upstairs thinking, you know what? I'll make some coffee. Who knows? Might make some breakfast. And at the thought of breakfast, it was starting to get at me.
Yeah.
I needed to purge. I don't like throwing up at all. Like,
I know this firsthand. I know this.
I can't throw up naturally. And for some reason, when it happens, it's forced and I feel awful. But in the last decade, I may have only thrown up maybe a total of 4 times. And
you
all
and Jerry Seinfeld.
Jerry Seinfeld can't throw up either.
Yep. You too.
So
you guys are like kindred spirits.
I'm sure we'll share our hangovers well together. Maybe over a nice Porsche. I don't know.
Oh, God.
Maybe throw up over his Porsche, and then he'll definitely hate me. So I'm upstairs. I'm thinking about breakfast. I don't feel so good. And I figure, well, I have an urge to hurl. I don't know if I might, but I'm going to walk towards the bathroom just in case it happens. So for the few people that have been in my bathroom, upstairs, I open the door. There's about maybe 10, 12 feet between the door of the bathroom and the toilet. And the toilet's along the outer wall.
Upstairs?
Yes.
Probably 7 feet from the door to the toilet.
7 feet? Okay.
Yep.
So it's about a 7-foot walk. As soon as I opened the door, it was go time. Without control, I threw up. And if anyone knows what a parabola is...
A parabola?
A parabola is an arc.
Oh.
I arced it clean into the toilet.
How?
From the door, threw up, went into the toilet, didn't make a mess.
Well, if you're going to do it, you might as well make the most of it.
I may as well be a classy motherfucker at it.
Yeah, and less cleanup.
Oh, there was no cleanup at all. I had to flush the toilet. And then I felt good. I felt proud, thinking, normally I don't feel proud when I throw up because it's the worst feeling ever. If you're sick, you got food poisoning, you're drunk, or you're trying to sober up and it happens, it's not the best feeling. You're not proud of it, but it happens. I didn't feel good when it happened, but seeing it parabola and arc into a toilet clean without splashing.
Yeah.
Almost like watching the Olympics and seeing some of these divers from 100 feet in the air go into the water without making a splash.
Yep.
It was kind of like that. It was my proudest moment ever. And I thought, you know what? Amazing. I win at life. I can't do anything better than that. So my funniest, proudest moment happens to be me puking into a toilet 7 feet away without...
Projectile puking.
Projectile puking. I put my whole stomach into it.
Let's be clear. I mean, you could have made a sport out of it.
I should make a sport out of it.
No, you shouldn't.
No, I shouldn't.
You would never be able to compete.
I don't have enough practice.
You don't have enough vomit.
That's true. Yeah. This has been a very, very strange podcast. But then again, most of these podcasts have been strange to a certain degree.
I'm looking at my notes here, and I've got shattered glass incident at Wall Mary.
Dude, and it's got a parentheses and it's got 2 question marks.
Well, that's me after I realized that I put a Y instead of a T. I work at Wall Mary. Usually we just call it Wally World.
Wally World? Okay, yeah. That's different, but kind of cool.
Yeah.
Wait. I figured out a way to make your existence at Walmart a lot better.
Wally World?
Wally World. And exactly that. So everyone remembers National Lampoon Vacation.
Yep.
You know how they finally get to Wally World and then realize it's closed?
It's closed, yep.
The way you punch in from now on at Wally World is you punch the nose.
You should punch the moose, yeah.
Punch the moose in the nose and you clocked in.
Could you imagine that?
If it was my boss's face, oh my God, I'd get in trouble with punching in and out of my time clock system. That's amazing. I would want a time clock system where you punch your boss in the face. That or the person that you dislike the most at your job.
I don't think you'd be able to...
And the funny bit is, they also have to punch in, so they punch themselves in the face.
He imagines like, that's it. Go home, Paul. No more punching.
Bash him in the face.
No more punching me.
Imagine if it made a fart sound every time you punch the face.
Wow. That's shitty.
We have entered a new low.
Yeah. With that, I think it's time.
I think it's time to kill this podcast.
Yeah, definitely kill it. Burn it with fire.
Burn it with fire. And
Except,
vomit.
No, I don't think you should burn shit. Flaming shit bags.
Do they do that anymore?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Where you light the bag on fire and then they go to stomp the fire out. And
Oh, so that's why they do that. Oh, okay.
yeah. Never done it myself. I've just seen it in movies and stuff.
I stomped on a fire. My house is on fire.
I got
poo on my shoes. I do know where my boss lives because apparently there's no record of him on the internet minus the purchase of his house.
Do you do a flaming shit bag for him?
I'm really considering it because the way how he pisses everyone off.
Don't use your own shit.
You know what? I'm not even going to put it on his doorstep. I'll put it in his truck.
That's dangerous.
No, not actually light it. Just simply throw it in his truck.
He's going to throw a bag of poo in his truck.
Don't tempt me. I am actually considering this.
Have some shit. Put it in a Ziploc bag. So we can admire it.
But you know what I have to do?
So we can admire it. Like, that's a nice shit. That's a nice big... I'll shit for you.
I may have to use... But I have to use a car that's not mine because he knows what my car looks like. And I'm pretty certain he...
Use Eric's. He's driving a shit car anyway.
Yeah, it's decaying organically as we speak.
The shit can only help.
Actually, the shit could only help.
I will lay a log
Oh my god.
so big, you're going to have to use with the big, like, full gallon baggie.
I hope... Oh, please don't hold it in that long. My brother makes...
I don't have to hold it in. This is normal size for me. We could even go to Walmart.
We've entered a new low again.
I'm trying to make this special and personalized for him.
You have it in cursive?
Do you know what his birthday is?
It's actually in February.
So we go to Walmart.
I think it's February 14th.
You know that little happy birthday thing that your mom puts in the cakes?
Dude! Hope you have a shitty birthday.
Put that in the poo. And put that in the baggie and just like place it like in the bed of his truck. Happy birthday.
Why do we keep going to poo? I don't know.
I had another thought, but I'm not even going to bother.
Is it involving poo?
Yes.
Oh, God. Okay, may as well. This podcast is already not salvageable.
I can't. It's childish and immature, and I'm just going to tuck that back inside of my brain and shelve it for now.
Into the crevices and folds.
Yeah. I'm good.
I'm good, yeah. But seriously, though, like, if this guy pisses me off enough, his address is there. For some reason, there's no record of him besides an address, which I find it odd. And he's told me that he lives in a certain area anyway, and he showed me. Because he went with me on a delivery once, and he showed me whereabouts where he lives.
Wow.
So...
It's inviting.
It's totally inviting trouble.
It's inviting trouble. Why would you show...
Why would you show an employee you piss off all the time
in
where
case
you
I
live?
ever piss you off, here's where I live.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Maybe he's not actually showing you where he lives. Maybe he's showing you where someone else he doesn't like lives or something. Who knows?
I don't want to find out.
It just seems super... That doesn't seem intelligent to just...
My boss is not that intelligent.
Oh, yeah.
He follows an orange. And that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's about time that we wrap this up.
Yeah, I think so too.
We can't salvage this anymore.
No, we can't. It's beyond.
It's all beyond all recognition.
Yep.
Well, my birthday is actually this upcoming weekend, and I don't know if...
Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. I don't know if we'll do a podcast this Saturday. I guess we'll see how things really turn out. What's that?
We probably will.
Okay. I think Wolf will be here. I know Ricky, he'll be here as well.
Oh, I'd love to. That'd be fun. We should do one early in the day.
Yeah.
If Wolf comes.
Yeah, I kind of told him to come over early than 5 p.m.
We should definitely do one.
So,
I
I guess.
forward to it. I enjoy Wolf. He's a good guy.
He is a good wolf. All right, so then I guess it really depends on the evening. It may be a bit later. Okay. I think it's time to call this quits. So, I'm Dustin.
I'm Kurdan Sourpuss.
And thanks for listening to our very, very shitty podcast. Which, our type font is also brown. So, at least we're keeping with the theme. Mao. Or, no, Wolf. Sorry. Thanks, guys. See you next time.